A Shalom Shalom, Ashar Yawam, Ra'ashwan, Hashabawai, which is to say, happy first day of the week. All right, today is Sunday, being the first day of the week. So Ra'ashwan meaning in heading, beginning, or in the front. All right, because it is the first day of the week. Anak nawaha aibar yasha'Allah hawalakim la'atam, call Shabawai Baharcha Wakakshaw, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh. Hey, we the Hebrew Israelites coming to you week in and week out through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh to preach to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, and Israelite foreigners. N'chamatam kaya hamalakwath hashamayim korab, repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Call Layim La Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Bahashim Chahakwadash Wamashana Kabadim the Quaim Nawa Wamala Akam Shaw Yashala Hazaquaim Chagadawam Wachasa Washalamam Wabarakim Lahabachai Shahakawishala Shalamam. Alright, so all praise to the Most High Yahweh, which means He exists. Bahashim, in the name Yahweh Shai delivers. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Israel, the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and mercy, peace, and blessings to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom, which means peace. So this is an article on RT. It reads, U.S. state encourages schools to deceive parents. Oregon's Department of Education has suggested children's identity be kept a secret from their families. The Oregon Department of Education has come under fire for a document published on Thursday titled Supporting Expansive Students, Gender Expansive Students, Guidance for Schools, which appears to counsel school staff to help students conceal their expansive gender identities from their parents. All right, and expansive basically going into making it wider, because at one point in time it was like so-called 50 different genders or something like that, but now I'm pretty sure they got like over 100, but it's only two according to the scriptures. Only two genders according to the scriptures. If a student declares a new gender identity, the guide instructs school districts to immediately begin treating them in accordance with that identity, informing teachers of their new name and pronouns, and updating their name on school records. However, schools shouldn't run to the student's parents with the child's decision according to the guide. So basically keeping the parent out of the loop. All right. And they basically did that with that's how Esau moves. He's very cunning and everything. Like, this is another example. It's not in the same in the same topic, but like with football, for a long time they was doing they had certain ways you could tackle. Like back in the 90s, people was getting like laid out, but now they basically they promote the head up for better safety, and then you can no longer like put your head in the equation. You can't like target or whatever, and they started that with with the youth. So that way, when the youth was growing up, when they got to the league, they already knew, and that they started this like reformation around like 2006, So with this, without including the parents into it, basically the youth is going what Esau thinks, he thinks that they're going to grow up, and keep with those same types of ideologies, and the ones that's after them, it'll already be I guess assimilated, if that's the correct word. So kind of similar to what they did in slavery. How the older Jakes knew that they was Jake, you see, but with the younger ones, they would treat them a certain way, and then they eventually we was without our heritage. It was all through prophecy, you see. But we get examples of this through like the movies and things as such, But I'm gonna keep going. It says, however, schools shouldn't run to the students' parents with their child's decision. According to the guide, to the extent possible, schools should refrain from revealing information about a student's gender identity, even to the parents, if it states, noting that students might have privacy concerns about students, school staff, community members of their families finding out before they are ready to share their identity more widely. The guide also encourages litigiousness legit, yeah, like I say, legitiousness. Um, Recommending staff, parents, or students who witness that they believe to be harassment or over gender identity or sexual orientation to file a title, I think that's discrimination complaint. Such discrimination could involve a transgender or a transformer. Student denied the opportunity to play on a sports team that most aligns with their gender, or failure to provide a gender non-conforming student with their desired bathroom facilities, or peer rooming assignments on field trips, and staff are encouraged to undergo special training in order to be able to better recognize such issues. Parents' rights groups have come out against the God organ is demonstrating for parents that once again academics and education are not the priority of our government school system. Laura Zork of Building Education for Students Together told the Daily Caller on Friday, pointing out that every hour spent teaching gender issues was one not spent in academic education. Department of Education Director Colt Gill justified the God in his introduction, reasoning that the last 18 months had seen record numbers of proposed and sometimes passed legislation, political vitriol, and dehumanizing media coverage against gender-affirming education and health care nationwide. A spokesperson for the Department of Education clarified that while parent support and involvement is a priority, when students identify that notifying their family may be a safety concern, we do encourage schools to prioritize the student's safety within all school environments. Self-reported data indicates that 8% of students in Oregon identify as transformers, questioning, or gender expansive. All right, so that mean that they subscribing to, switching to the other team. If they was, a female, they switching to the other side, or a male switching to the other side. Questioning, they don't know what they are. I mean, it's not, the Lord is not the author of confusion, so there's no questioning, all right, or gender expansive. They think they're half tree, half boy, or half boy, half tree, stuff like that. But let's get some precepts. This is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 5. It says, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. All right, and this is talking about Esau eating the so-called white man. You see, it says, he also transgresseth by wine. That wine is going into his philosophies and his ideologies. You see, that is an example of transgression of wine. All right, that is a bugged out philosophy. Everything that this man does, he allows people to marry. You can marry a house. You can marry this. You can marry that. 2 women and 5 men can get married. Stuff like that. You can marry a car. You can do whatever. That's the type of wine you don't want. You see, it says he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. He's a very proud man, because you go to the Hoyam Psalms, the 10th chapter, it talks about how his ways are averse to the Lord's. That's how he's proud. Neither keepeth at home. You see, he got issues in his own country, in his own lands, but he's always into other people's affairs. All right, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. If he was satisfied, if he could be satisfied, he it will be an end to his wickedness, But his is no limit to this nigga wickedness. The true no limit soldier. You see, it says, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. This place is known as the melting pot. That's the melting pot. All right, America, Babylon, the great, chiefly. All right, let's get a few more. This is Moshalim, also Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 16. It says, the man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. All right, and those that are questioning, those that are all into these wavering and varied lifestyles, you know, they will be in the congregation of the dead. All right, and that's a void of light. They don't have any true understanding. You see, and if they did have a true understanding, they wouldn't be questioning. They wouldn't be going into expansive ideology, expansive genders, and everything else listed inside that article. You know, and I'm gonna get one more. This is Isaiah chapter 10, also Yeshaya chapter 10 and verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. All right, and who's writing these decrees? You see, it's not Jake. You know, it's not a so-called Negro, Latino, a Native American, a West Indian, Haitian in there writing them unrighteous decrees. It's a so-called white man. You know, who runs the school systems? All right, and the school systems who chiefly run this world is the so-called JOS. You see, they truly run everything. You know, so woe unto them. You know, it says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. All right, they the scriptures say that this man writes mischief by law, roughly paraphrasing. You know, it says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and write grievousness which they have prescribed. This is grievousness. You see, it's grievous to the parents. It's grievous to the people that are involved in that. All right, and it says which they have prescribed. They came up with that by themselves, man. They were ordained on the left hand side, you see, but what they're doing is wicked. You know, the Lord didn't say, hey, do this. This is what you're supposed to do. You know, Esau Edom came up with this on his own. All right. So destruction to Esau Edom, the so-called white man. All right. Every single one of them is going to be destroyed in the end. You see. So Abaratazada was edifying. Kohalite Mla Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua Bahashim Rakakadash. A double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. And much respect to you brothers out there pushing this truth with all righteousness and sincerity. Shalom, shalom. Layla Tawad, which means good night. Shalom, shalom.